everyone. My name is Julie Edwards, and I am the Director of Health Promotion at the University of Chicago. And I'd just like to thank you for joining me this afternoon for a meditation on overcoming freeze response. So you may be familiar with freeze response, but in the event that you are not, freeze is a common response to fear or to unsettling situations, but it's especially common in life-threatening situations that may be difficult to escape. Freezing, like fight or flight responses, is an involuntary response. It's not under conscious control. It's our body's way of involuntary freezing automatically in a situation that we might be put in. Because this response is automatic, it can feel as though there's a physical paralysis, and it can be really frightening. And that's why it's called freeze, because it feels as though you aren't able to move in any way. In today's meditation, what I'm going to do is take you through some grounding techniques to help you reconnect with your surroundings if you experience a moment of panic. By practicing these techniques fairly often, you can become familiar enough with the techniques so that you can remember to use them just when you might experience something where you would have an actual freeze response. The relaxation can actually be used in certain situations that may cause you to freeze. So for example, if you tend to experience a freeze response when you're going into public places, you might consider wearing headphones and potentially having this meditation as a way to practice in a public place so that you're trying to drown out a bit the sound that may be around you and then really focus on an area like we'll practice in today's meditation. I recommend practicing the meditation even if you are not experiencing a freeze response. And actually, I highly recommend that so that you can just be accustomed to practicing the techniques themselves. And then that way you can train yourself in how you might be able to deal with things a bit differently if you're in a situation that may cause some panic inside of you. So what I'd like to ask you to do is to just sit comfortably. If you prefer to lie down, that's completely fine. You may also stand, so it's completely up to you on what you would like to do. We're actually not going to close our eyes today. We're going to be focusing on some aspect of whatever room you may be in, or if you're outside, you may settle on an object that you can see there. But what I'd like you to do is just really look at one object that is somewhere in your realm or in your view and focus your eyes on that one spot. You may want to look at your feet, potentially a spot at the wall, maybe something that plays music or a book that you may be holding. But choose something that is not moving. And keep your gaze here just for now, tuning out all of the other things around you, just looking at this one spot. And let's just begin with some calm breathing. Allow yourself to inhale naturally, automatically, and then breathe out deeply, blowing out all of the air. You can inhale gently. When your lungs have filled, just exhale again smoothly, feeling the air move out of your body. You may even, as you settle on this spot and focus on your breathing, you may want to breathe in deeply through your nose and try to exhale slowly out of your mouth. Sometimes it allows me to deepen my exhale. Breathe in again naturally and breathe slowly out. You can even use the words in and out as you focus on the place or an object, and then also just your breathing in this moment. Keep breathing slowly and smoothly, allowing your breath to calm you as you focus on a specific place or object in the room you're in this moment. Whenever you feel tense, you can focus your gaze on a fixed object and just notice your breathing, only your breathing, turning your attention completely to where you feel your breath, noticing nothing else but the breaths in this moment. This is a reminder that if you experience a freeze response at all in your life, it's natural. There's nothing wrong with you and nothing to fear about the freeze response either. When it happens, it will typically not last that long. So we'll continue to practice some grounding techniques that can help whenever you experience the freeze sensation. First, what I'd like to do is focus your attention and awareness in this moment. So after focusing your breathing for a few moments, as you've just done, what I recommend is turning your awareness outward towards the environment using all of your senses. And so we'll practice that now. And I'd like, as you continue focusing your eyes on one spot and breathing calmly, I'd like you to engage the other senses. Feeling your clothes against your skin. Notice the temperature of the air around you. Is it cold or hot? Or maybe just right? Hear the sounds around you. Just listen, taking in any sounds that you hear in this moment. Still focusing on the one object, but engaging all of your senses. Focus again now on your breathing, tuning out your environment for a moment and just noticing your breathing, focusing on each breath moving in and out of your body, breathing calmly and focused on where you feel the breath the most. Now focus on the spot where you are looking, this one spot not moving, and notice the details, what it looks like, maybe if there's light shining on it or potential shadows you may see. Now turn your gaze somewhere else. Notice another area of your environment. Just keep looking around slowly and observing. Where are you right now? Are you inside, sitting, or lying down? What is going on around you? Notice all the things that are still. Are there walls, signs, trees? The ground is steady. See how solid and steady the ground may feel under your feet if you're sitting, or under your body if you're lying down. You are calm and still. It is just fine to be sitting or standing in one place. As you continue to look around, notice movement happening around you. What might be moving? Are there people walking? Maybe a breeze flowing through the trees? Just notice if there's anything moving in the space that you're in this moment. As you look around at the scene, you can determine if there's any danger there. See that you are safe. Notice where you are, and what is happening around you. I'd like to ask you to rub your hands together. Actually do this movement right now as you relax, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and just allow your hands to rub together. Feel the sensation of your palms, the warmth generated by rubbing your hands together, and hear the sound made by this movement, utilizing all of your senses in this moment. Feel where your hands are. Now let your hands come to rest and notice that they may feel warm and relaxed. You can use this movement to give yourself another point of focus or another anchor as you meditate and really bring awareness to this moment. It's just a way to bring something to help keep you grounded in the present and also in touch with your body. When you are grounded, you will no longer be in a state of freeze. It allows you to be more present to what you're experiencing. The next time you experience panic or you freeze, you can use these techniques to help resume normal movement, thinking, and functioning. So what I'd like to do is practice the techniques again together today, because as I mentioned at the beginning, it's helpful to be able to continue to practice so that you can build that mindfulness muscle, so that in the event that you're in a situation where there may be a bit of panic, it will kick in more readily because these are some techniques that you've actually practiced. So what I'd like to ask you to do is focus your gaze again on one spot in the room, wherever that may be. I would recommend maybe choosing a different one than what you had focused on initially, and only looking in that one place, a single non-moving place. And concentrate on your breathing. Deliberately breathing in and out. Just naturally allowing your body to breathe in and out on its own. Notice the environment around you, bit by bit, using your senses to touch, hear, see, one thing at a time, as your gaze spans the room and you notice the space that you are in. You may start with touch, feeling the temperature around you, the feel of your clothing, or the surface that's supporting you right now. Next, hearing, listening to the sounds around you. And now vision. See the spot where you are looking and the details that exist within that object. And turn your attention to another location and observe. Slowly move your eyes and take in the sights around you, piece by piece. Evaluate the environment around you. Notice where you are and what is going on. Just see that you are safe. Again, I'll ask you to rub your hands together. And notice that by doing this movement, you're warming up your hands feeling calm and centered, and you're no longer frozen. And allow your hands to rest again. Now keep repeating each anchoring technique until you are no longer experiencing a freeze response, or until your body becomes familiar with focusing on an object, utilizing your senses, and then scanning the area to be able to really take it in, concentrating on your breathing. Noticing the environment around you, using your senses of touch, hearing, and vision. Evaluating your surroundings and seeing that you are safe. Rubbing your hands together, feeling what it's like to have your palms connect, feeling calm, able to move, potentially warmth, expanding upon this movement to move wherever you like. Then slowly relax your hands. What I'd like to do now is just conclude this relaxation exercise by taking a few moments to stretch. And so sometimes it's helpful to stretch maybe over your heads or around, just allowing you to ensure that your mind and your body are fully awake. You can use these anchoring techniques anywhere to overcome freeze response. First and foremost, it's being able to fixate on a specific object and settle into how your breathing is feeling as you're focused on that object. And then start to increase and utilize your senses so that you're not only focusing on that object and your breathing, but you're utilizing what you hear, what you feel in the moment as well. And then scanning the environment to see that you are safe in identifying the different pieces or different scenes that you see before you or objects that you see before you. And then you can settle in if you need to as far as rubbing your palms, because it helps bring some relaxation and allows you to also utilize that as an anchor as well. As I mentioned earlier, it's important to practice these techniques often when you're not in a panic situation or in a freeze state, because the techniques can become more familiar to you so that you can use them more automatically when you need them the most. And so I do encourage you to revisit this video if needed so that you can practice it if you need to, but hopefully us going through it 3 different times also helps settle it in your mind as well. I'd really like to thank you for joining me this afternoon. I hope that you found these techniques helpful as you may need to overcome different panic situations. If you have any questions at all, feel free to put them in the chat. And if not, we will have this recording saved and available on our YouTube channel for future viewing. I thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.